Hi everyone, welcome back to the 100 Day Heal Your Inner Child series. And I am so glad that all of you are enjoying this program. You're working on it, you're doing your exercises, you're leaving comments, and that's the biggest gift for me. So let's continue today's day 42nd. And today we're going to talk about, we're going to continue on the theme of boundaries, okay? Because one is creating a physical boundary and understanding how we can, within that safe boundary, how we can say no and we can still express ourselves, right? A lot of us culturally, right, growing up in a certain environment with our parents, we're not able to say no, right? Because somewhere we feel like no is equal to rejection. And as I've said earlier, that we all live in groups, right? And in a tribe. And if no is equal to rejection, it could actually let us out of the tribe, and that in actually biological sense means um, uh, death, right? Or some sort of exile, right? And that was not that, then the person cannot survive alone, right? So there are a lot of connotations with this, right? So we have to work on ourselves slowly, be patient, and develop these boundaries, okay? And as and when we develop these boundaries, we become better with it. We will actually be able to heal not only the relationships, but also ourselves. Um, People feel that when we say no or when we build a boundary, we are actually being rude, but that's not true because when you're actually drawing a boundary, you're actually being authentic, you're actually being truthful. And the more truthful and the more genuine you can be, the better and the deeper your relationship will be, right? So, all those times where you've probably said something to someone that hurt them, again, when I mean you say something that's true to somebody and it hurts them, I'm not really, you don't have to be a dick, right? You don't really have to go and purposefully hurt someone and then say, well, that's the truth, but you are a bitch, right? I'm not saying you do that, right? Because you have to obviously be empathetic, you have to use your discretion, right? However, I'm talking about bigger issues, I'm talking about deeper issues, right? Which we do not uh, talk about with our family, with our friends. Instead, we hide it, and then later on, that same issue becomes really messy, right? And then it leads to some sort of a break in a relationship, which is then you're not able to mend that, right? So I'm talking about that. I'm talking about developing a habit of being truthful. And like I said, it's not about other people. You have to learn to be truthful and honest and authentic with your own self first. If you're lying to yourself constantly, right? Again, it could be a coping mechanism, but you gotta learn to work on it, right? So if you are working on being authentic with yourself, you will find your relationships, other, areas of your life opening up and actually giving you an opportunity to be authentic there as well, right? And so what will happen is you covering a layer within yourself, and you'll see certain things becoming much easier and clearer in, say, your job or say your business or your, partner's life, whatever, right? And so what I mean to say is that this, your connection with yourself, is a reflection of everything that's happening on the outside. Okay. So there is no excuse for you to not do this work. Yeah, because it's going to affect every area of your life. And you know what? Life will actually, whatever lessons you have to learn as a soul, life will keep putting you in those circumstances again and again and again till you actually learn the lesson. So even if you want to run away from this work, there's a disclaimer, right? The universe, God, whatever you believe in, that higher power, it'll take you to that area in your life, that shadow part of you that needs to be uncovered in order for you to actually start learning your lessons, right? And when I say learning your lessons, it's not really punishment or going through any sort of negative experience. Is mostly about certain aspects your soul is here for. Now, that's another whole story altogether. What is that? What is a soul program and all of that? And, this is for those folks who kind of understand this at even at a, a slightly not deeper level, and that's fine for you, okay? Because for some people, relationships can be a lesson where you keep going through tough relationships, or you don't have to go through a tough relationship, but if you don't learn your lesson, you keep going through similar people. If you have a partner, who's difficult, and you kind of leave them, you can end up in a in a professional setup where then your boss is the same like your partner, right? Or your help is like that, or your mother is suddenly like that. So it's like different areas will keep showing you those same stories again and again till you learn to kind of transcend that particular issue. You see how boundary learning how to develop boundaries is a must, right? Because once you learn that, you actually learn to navigate through various situations in life, right? And then once you do that, it's a skill that you develop. You don't have to keep going through it again and again and again and again and again, right? Trying to like figure out what's going on. You get it? So with that, let's dive into today's exercise. I Today we're going to do some havening to do healing. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So just close your eyes, sit comfortably, and take three long, deep breaths. Yeah. So you can put your hand softly on your shoulders today, okay, and say, "Today I honor my emotions and create a safe space. Today I honor my emotions and I create a safe space for my inner child. Okay. I'm allowed to feel and release freely. I'm allowed to feel and release freely." And then want you to visualize a soft, warm, protective light, whatever color comes to mind, right? A safe, energetic bubble that surrounds your emotional freedom. Yeah. And now I want you to invite your inner child, whatever age comes to mind. Just observe your inner child right in front of you. What is it wearing? What is it thinking? Or what's it feeling? Yeah. Just stay with it for a few seconds. And then I want you to ask your inner child, which feelings have I been holding that are not mine to carry? Which feelings have I been holding that are not mine to carry? The second is, where do you feel unsafe expressing yourself? Where do you feel unsafe expressing yourselves? And now just notice, your bodily sensation, your inner child's bodily sensations, any tension, any tightness, any heaviness, right? These are somatic cues of emotional boundaries being crossed, right? So just notice all of that. Now, before I move forward in this exercise, I want to tell you how, when we're talking about emotional boundaries, just remember that when we are growing up, our inner child, right? Like I said, till the age of 10, if you think of a phone, right? And if you think of how um, there are so many things. If you keep on clicking pictures, hundred thousands of pictures every day, there will be a time when the space will be completely full, isn't it? And then you'll have to delete pictures, isn't it? So similarly, even though I'm repeating, I've said this, I think, a zillion times before, your body, your little body, till the age of 10, keeps taking in all of these beliefs, emotions from everybody around, right? As cues for you to learn, what is money, what are relationships, what is love, what is school, what is friendship, all of that. Everything you take from everywhere and it goes into your body, right? And then there comes a time when your body is completely filled with all sorts of emotional stuff, right? So today and now, when you're taking all of this in, of course, not everything is correct. isn't it? Not everything is perfect. Not everything is actually healing, isn't it? So sometimes you can take scarcity from your mother, right? You can take scarcity, or you can take those money cues from your family that has, suffering in it. You can take some hardened karma of diseases as well from your family, isn't it? And those are what? Those are all emotional residues that your family has been carrying, and you just take it, you absorb it as a child, right? So today we're going to release whatever comes to your mind. And like I said, whatever comes to your mind is what needs to be released today. So please don't pressurize yourself or think that, oh my God, I was only able to release one thing or two things or, 100 things. It's okay, come back to it again and again. Your inner child is only ready for this much today or so much today, and that's fine. Anytime, any day, whatever you come up with, that's what you need. Okay. And of course, like I said, if you want to go deeper, if there is a particular issue that you want to explore more, do book your one-on-one session with me. Yeah. So having said that, let's continue. Now that you've noticed those emotions, you've asked your inner child, right? Now I'll tell you how to do havening. Okay, so you can do havening like this. So this is havening is a gentle self-touch, okay, technique that helps you release stored emotional distress, right? And it kind of reinforces emotional boundaries being crossed, which we are working on today, right? So this is arms havening, stroking each arm from shoulder to wrist slowly, right? And while you're performing this, right, mentally repeat, I release what is not mine. I release what is not mine. So when you're doing this, you're actually helping yourself, you're clearing out that space within you. Because only when you have space, you can get new ideas, right? So suppose you're letting go of those scarcity beliefs, then what will happen? Then you can bring in the abundance, isn't it? So I release what is not mine. I'm safe. My inner child is free, right? Imagine your poor inner child, right? It's suffocating with all of those beliefs till the age 10, and especially those beliefs that don't work for you. And then you feel so heavy, right? So let it be free today. Allow yourself to feel the relief and lightness as stored emotional tension dissolves. And you're gonna sigh, sneeze, fart, all of this is a good release. Please drink a lot of water every day after all the exercises, okay? It'll help you release all the emotional muck that's not required by your body. Yeah. Do this for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. As like I said, every day take your time, how your body is reacting, how much you need, what your inner child needs. Only you will know. So please connect with your inner child. Please connect with your body and see if you want to continue doing this. And obviously take, 1 hour from your day and do it so that you have that flexibility if you need more time to invest in this, right? So after you're done with this, I want you to journal, right, on four or two, three questions, right? So the first one would be the times you've absorbed emotions. So what were those emotions, right, that you feel you've absorbed from your family? You know, actually, now that I'm thinking, you can even make different areas of your life like money, relationships, health, and take some time, like half an hour to think about what you think about money. So, for example, I'll give you my example, right? For instance, with money, I remember, see, I have worked on myself a lot. So now what I think about money is absolutely different from what I used to think about money, right? So let me see. If I go back to my, say, teenage, I didn't even think about money. Can you imagine? Like, I was not taught anything around money. There was no, this is money, this is financial, um, you know, um, I don't know, literacy or whatever, nothing, right? So for me, money is equal to a question mark at that time, right? Or my inner child was more, I would say, scared about know money rather than thinking about anything that, money, how money comes, how money stays, what is financial literacy, nothing. So, uh, my beliefs would be money doesn't stay, for example, right? So so you write down all your beliefs about money, okay? Then what you do is you see where it's coming from. Maybe for me, from my father, right? So then you write down the source. And then when you're doing your havening, you just say you release it. I release this belief of money is not money does not stay, right? And then you replace it with something in a present tense. That money comes, money stays, money grows, right? And so you just replace it with money comes, money stays, money grows, right? So make statements like that, and I'm asking you to make your own statements because this will resonate with you. This is your belief. So my father gave this to me. Maybe your father gave you something else, right? Your parents, your friends, anybody. And again, you don't have to be right or wrong. Maybe my father didn't give me this one, right? But I think my father did. Maybe someone else did, right? You write what your story is, right? And remember, we're working on this energetically here. So there is no right or wrong. Whatever resonates with you is right for you. Yeah. The second question you'll work on is how does it feel in your body when you honor your emotional boundaries? Now, when I release it and I say money comes, money stays, money goes, I feel ecstatic, right? So feel those emotions. Ultimately, we're doing this exercise to replace that feeling of emptiness, feeling of scarcity with feeling of joy or something positive, right? Somebody can feel secure, somebody can feel more connected, right? Somebody can feel more joy, right? The next question would be what is that one step you can take today, right? To protect your emotional space, but lovingly, right? So, what would you do one thing today? Like, for example, one thing I would do is I would, every time a negative statement around money or around, scarcity would come, I actually now know that I can do this havening and I can release it. By saying I release what is not mine, I'm safe, my inner child is free. So that's one thing I can do today. So you can also do that, right? And then while you're doing this or while you're just holding yourself, your closing affirmation for today would be I honor my emotions and protect my inner child. I honor my emotions and I protect my inner child. I'm allowed to feel without guilt or fear, and my boundaries are sacred, clear, and loving. Wow, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's exercise. I will see you all tomorrow. Till then, signing off, Anisha. That's from Zarya Healing.